Hey everyone. I've seen a lot of people say that they keep struggling to get kind of over the mountain and actually quit. They can make it a day or 2 days and then all of a sudden, bam, they're right back. So I wanted to lay out, like I technically cold turkeyed, right? So I didn't taper. I used helper meds, and I kind of wanted to lay that out as a plan for all you people who say like, I'm trying or this or that. This is a surefire way for you to quit, as long as you follow my exact instructions. So there's a few requirements. The first one is like my job is a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 with PTO and stuff like that. So I need you to, like, this plan will be focused around that because we got to get enough time off work for you to go through detox and kind of get your feet back under you. So, um, ideally, you have some PTO. So here's what we're going to do. So you're going to request PTO off on a Friday. And then what you're going to do is get sick on Monday and Tuesday of that week. That is 3 days off. It's very hard, but you also get Saturday and Sunday in there. So what this actually turns into is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and you're back to work on Wednesday. So you get 5 days off, right? And we're technically even going to start it Thursday night, just being technical. So that's what you need to do. So you need to get that time off. All right, whatever it takes, get that time off. It's going to be important. You obviously, if you're faking sick, the flu's going around, so it's not that crazy to be out sick. And like already on that Monday and Tuesday, you might even be able to work remote. So if you can work remote, you could probably pull it off if you don't have a ton of calls. But okay, let's continue. So get that time off. That's where all of our plans going to take place, but we have to do some preparation first. So what you need is a trusted friend that will help you through this process. You need someone you can trust. Could be a family member, could be your partner, right? Mine happened to be my partner, but they're going to do quite a few things for you. So this is very important. You need to bring them in on this addiction. You're going to tell them that you're going through a detox and it's really hard to do, and you need them to help you like not relapse while you're going through it. Okay, so you find the person, educate them on the thing, warn them when we're going to give them kind of a to-do list, and you're going to have one. But we're already so you got the time off for the future. At least by Monday, this is what we need to do. We need to get some helper meds, right? We got to get the supplies we need to make it through the detox. So first thing we're going to do is get a doctor. So if you have a general doctor, that's what I did. I have a medicine management doctor that I just see virtually. It's all virtual, but I actually talked to them about going through opiate withdrawal, and I requested 2 different prescriptions that made the big difference for me. So we're going to ask for gabapentin, and we are going to ask for clonidine. The dosage you'll probably get is probably on the lower side, but it's still better than nothing. So ideally, you get a month's supply of it, and we can work from there. So you're going to ask for gabapentin and then clonidine. Again, this could even be a virtual appointment. You're going to get them sent to a pharmacy. I'm assuming you will get 100 milligrams 3 times a day of gabapentin, and then you will get 0.1 tablets of clonidine, where you are allowed to use up to 3 a day. That's at least what I got as a starter dose. It's not that crazy, but again, you can be open with your doctor. This is for opiate withdrawal. I would probably just say kratom withdrawal. You see it helps online. It's very documented to help with these things. They're also not super controlled substances, so it's not super hard to get them. Okay, so that's what you got to do. So you have from Monday until that Thursday to accomplish that. You need to get those prescriptions, have them sitting there ready, because it's very important. We're going to have to dose them as we finish, as we get into stuff. All right, so now we get to the next step of preparation, which is working with your trusted person, right? I can't tell you how critical this is. If you do it by yourself, you will end up failing. So let me tell you what they're going to do. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to take away your transportation for the days, right? So from that Thursday night, They're going to have your keys all the way until probably Tuesday morning, something like that. Right, that Tuesday morning, they'll have your keys for that entire thing. You are not leaving. It is imperative that you do not leave your house. The next thing that I had to do was remove my finances. So I got rid of every card. I removed everything from Apple Pay. I reset all my bank passwords. I literally did not have a way to spend money because, again, I don't know if you're anything like me in this addiction, but I was willing to walk miles to get my dose. So we got to pull that off the table. It's just not an option. This trusted friend of yours, and again, this is where you kind of got to be honest with yourself. You have to go through all of your stashes in your house or wherever you're staying, or maybe even stay with them. But you can't have any on you except what you're just dosing for this week, right? I always had a bunch of secret hiding places with it, and I would have stuff there. So you got to go through with this trusted friend and clean it all out. It's all got to be gone. I wouldn't even leave wrappers around. If you have a bunch of powder, that sucks. If you have online orders, like, you got to make sure they're not coming in the mail after that date. Okay, so we got a clean house. We got the medicine ready. I've heard several other things that can help, so I'm kind of putting this in the optional category. But I am the kind of person where I vomit through opiate withdrawal, right? My stomach purges whatever's inside of it. So I've gotten a prescription for something called... it's a little thing you put under your tongue. It'll come to me. Zolfran. Zolfran is what it is. I think they give it to like pregnant people and several other things. You get like a slab of them that you can use, but when you put it under your tongue and it dissolves, it basically eliminates vomiting for like 8 hours each time. So you can also ask your doctor for that. That's very normal. It's not like a risky thing to prescribe, so you shouldn't have a problem getting it. You are going to be in quite a bit of discomfort. So if you have alcohol laying around, I would recommend removing it. It's not a good plan. I would not have it around. Just because you're going to be so desperate to find something that you'll go to that. In terms of sleeping medication, we got to be a little careful. You can't just go to your you can't just go freestyle, take a bunch of Benadryl and stuff. There's certain medications that actually make this detox more difficult instead of easier. Just basically, if it's not on the list I told you, I would just ignore it. Feel free to grab magnesium. Feel free to grab vitamin C. Feel free to get L-theanine. And these are all things you can just kind of consume as you need to. There's a couple... I don't want to go too deep into sleep medications right now because it's just not core to what we're doing. You're not going to sleep great. It doesn't matter what you have. I had some, like, if you had like a strong benzo and you're not addicted to that, you could incorporate that into this. I've heard people use THC through the detox. I could not do that. Again, I was vomiting every couple seconds, dry heaving, and anything involving either eating a gummy or smoking something just resulted in bad. I also had a lot of panic. Like, I was in fight or flight mode. So doing that while high is pretty difficult. So I won't recommend using it, but if it's something you think you can do, God bless you. Maybe it'll help. Okay, so we got that covered. You got some meds. If you have some like stronger sleep meds, like I had Ambien, you could bring those. But that's really the foundation of what we need. Now, if you are a user of nicotine, I would also stock up on that. You have no business going to any smoke shop pretty much for the rest of your life. So if you use a vape, I was able to vape. I used pouches, but I actually couldn't keep it down. I was so sick I couldn't keep it down. It would literally instantly cause vomiting. So I had to vape through the detox, which, whatever, it was fine. If you smoke cigarettes, you'll probably be able to make that work too. Just make sure you have enough because you are not leaving. That is the whole point. You need whatever you need to get through that weekend. A couple other supplies I would recommend having. I was big on sparkling water because it kind of sat in my stomach and gave me a little bit of relief. I also had some like really light food, like apple slices. I wasn't able to eat anything big and sizable. Once you come out of the detox, which again, it can be about a 3-day detox. Once you come out of it, sometimes you'll like tend to lean towards sugary stuff like candy. And I say go for it. If you want it, have some candy, have some brownies, whatever you need. But you do want some food in you. The nutrition is important, but even more important than that is the water. So if there's like a pop that settles your stomach, like Sprite, get some of that. I got like bubblies. I had sparkling water because it just sat on my stomach and hydrated me. Um, and finally, let's get to our plan. So, we're going to actually pick this up on Thursday night. So, what we need to do is we need to maximize the last dose on Thursday to have it as close to bedtime as possible. This is going to be your last deep sleep for a while. So, it's really important that we get like a really, really strong sleep. I never tapered, but like if you were tapering or something, you could have that be like a tapering off dose. Um, but again, I didn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say what my doses were at the time. The last time I did this, it was 500 milligrams. They were like a 500 milligram pack. Um, so my bedtime dose was about 10:30 p.m. So I took my full dose at 10:30 p.m. I slept the night, and we're gonna do one thing in addition to that. I would recommend taking one of your gabapentin. So you probably have 100, whatever it is. 300 is like my perfect dose size, but you're going to take it with that last dose. So it kind of is in effect when you wake up. We want it to be kind of started. So if you wake up in the middle of the night, the only thing you're going to be dosing is gabapentin. Okay, so you do your dose Thursday night. You wake up on Friday and you are officially in the withdrawal. Um, I usually just count things day by day, hour by hour, whatever you got to do. It's not going to be fun, but you are on lockdown and you have a friend who's there to help you. So, what I want you to do is focus on hydration. You need to stay hydrated, even if you're throwing up. Keep drinking water. This is one of the things your friend can help you with. They can keep telling you to drink water. As you get a bunch of anxiety and restlessness, I have some tips on things that would help with that. Um, but we'll get there. Basically, it's kind of just the same thing over the days. For me, it basically kind of went on a. It was about 75% of the withdrawal on the first 24 hours. Maybe 60%, 100% on day two. So 24 hours to 48 hours, and the last day was about 30% of the withdrawal. So like 100% is the worst of it. And then after that you're just kind of tired. There's some other things, but um you won't be sleeping through this. And again, it doesn't matter. The nice thing about opiate withdrawal is as long as you stay locked in there and you don't like consume a bunch of other drugs and stuff. My understanding is you'll make it through. It's gonna suck. Like it will suck. You're walking through fire, but the fire doesn't burn you, right? You're not gonna sleep great. You're gonna be in an awful mood. You will be in pain. Like I had a lot of soreness, um, but we did this. We chose to get high for however long we've been doing, so we have to pay the price to get off of it. But again, it's all doable. It's gonna make you think you're dying. You're not. And again, I'm not a doctor. This is just what I did. I was miserable. I was screaming. I cried a little bit. Here's the symptoms you need to be aware of. So I already kind of referenced the stomach problem. So either going to be someone who vomits everything that you swallow, or you're the kind of person who everything goes down the opposite way. Um, if you are that kind of person where it goes out the bottom, you can take as much Imodium as you want. If you are the type of person that vomits, I use that Zolfran. But what I would do is use some sparkling water. It just kind of sat in my stomach all right. And again, I wasn't able to really eat anything anyways. Um, so there's that. Um, Okay, the first day is when you're really doing a lot of the mental battle. So your brain's gonna be telling you like, "Oh, I should really just go get one more dose. I have till Tuesday, right? So I can just get one." You cannot leave. You need whoever this trusted friend is to understand that you are not to leave. There's no emergency. There is no, "Oh, I need to go pick this up for my mom. Oh, I need to go do this for work." It's not a thing. I'd recommend distracting yourself. I was pretty miserable the whole time. Um, I tried to watch the movies, and I think I watched the Taken movies the last time I did it. Taken 1, 2, 3. I don't even remember what really happened, because I was just in pain. Uh, So the symptoms, the stomach problems. The next one I want to talk about is the what they call RLS. It's restless leg syndrome, and what it is when your body goes from having dopamine to no dopamine, you actually get like it's that restless. If you've ever had restless leg, that little bit in your leg where you're like clenching it, trying to like get it away, your whole body's gonna do that. Um, and it's going to suck. So one of the solutions we have to that is a couple things. So gabapentin, again, hugely. We'll talk about some of the gabapentin, but I just want to talk through the symptoms. The RLS. There's a few things we can do to help with that. You can take showers often to help with that. I would get up and walk around and then go lay back down. It would help. Playing with the temperature, so getting really cold with a fan and then really hot under blankets, like bouncing around would help. Um, and then magnesium is something that people often reference as being a good vitamin to help with restless leg syndrome. And then, of course, we have the medication. Gabapentin, the way we basically dose this is you basically take a dose of gabapentin every 30 minutes until you feel okay. So for me, that's usually, I do 300 milligrams because I don't know, I just worked up to that. But I would take 300 milligrams at the start of this. So when you wake up Friday morning, you're taking your dose. Um, and again, we only need enough to really get through Tuesdays, right? So if you have your prescription, what I would do is I would take them early, right? And so instead of taking just the 3 100s, I would consume them in larger doses, so using up my whole month's prescription to get through it. But effectively, what I would do is take 300 milligrams every 30 minutes until I felt okay. The reason you space it out is it's not the type of medication where I can just take 10 and it's 10 times the effectiveness. It's not very bioavailable, so it takes time to get into your system. It's actually more effective to space out the doses. Um, I've heard other tips like eating a little bit of protein with it, like peanut butter or something, also speeds up the absorption. For me, that sweet spot is anywhere from 900 to 1800 milligrams. The second I hit that, I'm actually not really feeling withdrawal. I'm kind of a zombie in a lot of ways. I'm falling asleep and stuff like that. But I am not hurting from withdrawal, which is magical. Clonidine, I think its actual action is lowering your blood pressure, but what that helps is if you're really restless or sweaty or you're getting hot and cold, I think it actually helps with that a lot, and then it also nulls your panic, right? Your brain's going to be in like panic mode throughout this, and it nulls some of that. So I don't have like specific dosages or anything. I think doctors say don't take more than 0.3 at any one time. That's what I was told, but we're effectively using the way. Again, this is just what I did. I obviously can't recommend, tell you exactly what to do, but I would use that whole month's prescription over the duration of these 5 days to get through detox, and then after that, I wouldn't actually need them. Okay, so let's continue. You're not going to sleep great. Effectively, the some people can sleep, a decent amount that first 24 hours, and then once the restless stuff starts, it's kind of hard. But we'll talk about some tips to help you sleep. But basically, the first like 2 days, it's like getting an hour of sleep. When you want to get 8 hours of sleep, you just get an hour, and then you wake up and you can't fall back asleep. So there's a couple things you can repeat when you're trying to sleep. For me, number one is a shower technique. And so what I do is I get in the shower at my normal temperature. I get it as hot as I can get it slowly. So raise the temperature as hot as you can go slowly. Get used to it, go a little hotter. Get used to it, go a little hotter. And then we want to shock our system by getting it as cold as we can get it. So you're going to slowly lower the temperature as low as you can handle it. So, and if you do it slow enough, you'll be able to get it all the way down and it won't even be a big deal. Um, and every time I took a shower like that, it kind of reset the sweatiness, right? I would get I would be like, what do they call it? Cold sweats or whatever. I think it's your hypothalamus maybe or thyroid. I'm not sure what system it is, but it basically gets thrown out of whack through detox. Your system's in shock. So that's what happens. Um, and it would reset that for about an hour and dull the restlessness for about an hour when I did that hot to cold shower. and I'd be able to sleep for an hour. And again, when you're not sleeping for a couple days, except for an hour increments, that hour you need it. So it'll feel great. It'll be what you need. You'll want more sleep. Well, go shower again. So like, it's not even that crazy to say shower 20 times through this, 30 times. Do whatever you need to get through. You just need to pass the time until this blows over. It's a storm, right? We're hunkering down through the storm, and then once it passes, we can come out and hang out. The other thing I have is when you get all sweaty like that and the cold sweats, like opiate, I don't know what it is with opiate detox, but you have this stink to you. It's like this burning plastic smell that just like seeps out of your pores or something. I don't know if it's actually seeping out of your pores or if it's something in your nose that changes, but every time I've detoxed, I just fucking reek of like this burning, nasty oil smell. Um, and so every time you can clean yourself up, so the showers also clean you up and remove that smell from you. And along with that, so your friend, right, this friend who's helping you through this, if they could change your bedding as many times as they can change your bedding through this, it will refresh you. So like ideally they're going to come in and say, hey, you get in there, you go take your shower and then change the bedding while they're there. And they should also be bringing you water throughout all this, right? Maybe some cold water. For me, it was sparkling water because it sat in my stomach better. They'll be getting you bowls if you're puking and getting you toilet paper if you need it in the bathroom. Like they're just there to help you wear out this storm, hunker down through it. But yeah, as many times as they're willing to get you in fresh, clean clothes after a shower and change your bedding, it will give you about an hour of sleep. The next one, I don't know if it works for females, but for males, if you have a sexual release, it would actually, I think it's like the endorphins or like maybe it released some like testosterone or something, but it would basically give me an hour of sleep. So I do my thing. Which actually happens pretty quick when you're going through detox because your body's like rubber banding from having no libido and all that. But yeah, I would do my thing and I would be able to get about an hour of sleep. It kind of like gave me a little happiness, a little joy, and I'd be able to go to sleep for about an hour. So it's basically this rotation of drinking as much water as you can. Hopefully you don't puke it up. Just keep drinking, showering, getting fresh clothes on, hopefully getting new bedding, masturbating, and sleeping wherever you can in between. And then again, the dosing. So when you're not feeling good, you take your dose. For me, it was 300 milligrams every 30 minutes until you feel okay. Once that starts to wear off, you just continue it, right? So, okay, take your dose, wait 30 minutes, take your dose, wait 30 minutes. And that basically will get you through. It's not enjoyable. Like whenever you don't sleep alone, you're not going to feel good, right? Like you're going to feel really out of it and panicked and just not good. But again, that's why we have your friend, because every cell in your body is going to tell you to go relapse. This is impossible. It hurts too bad. It's painful. I think ibuprofen is what you can take for like pain too. You get sore, right? You've been like numbing your nerves with opiates basically. So when you remove the opiates, you're like you get pain signals sent through them, and so you'll get really sore. In addition to that, you'll be sitting up a lot and uncomfortable from the restlessness, and you're just sore from going like this nonstop too. So ibuprofen is what I've heard people do. One thing I want to point out about my plan is my plan does not include any kratom products. I'm a big cold turkey person. If I was going to the store to buy kratom, I would end up buying 7. So kratom is off my list, but this is the Jeremy plan, and I can tell you will get detoxed this way. I just like you will. That is the most of this. Just overall timeline. The first day you get a lot of panic, anxiety, worry, fear in your head. You'll be trying to like negotiate with your friend to get him to let you leave the house. They're not going to let you. If they're a good friend, they will not let you. The only way you get anything is if they call 911 and an ambulance comes and picks you up. That's the only option. Like, do your own research again. Do whatever you got to. I'm just an idiot. This is just what got me through mine. But yeah, the first day is total panic, Second day is the restless symptom, and the stomach problems get a little bit amplified. The third day would be like little waves of stomach problems. The restlessness really goes away. You also get throughout the whole thing, you get like flu symptoms basically. So like runny nose, your nose will get all congested. I would use that like not Narcan. I forget what it's called, but there's that like spray you put up your nose that just nukes out all the snot and stuff that's in there. Clears out your sinuses. I was using a lot of that. It's like oxymenthol or something. But yeah, I would use that a ton. You're gonna be sneezing. That's just like a thing of getting. I don't know if that's kratom or opiates, but you will be sneezing like sneeze, 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 in these little waves. And again, you're just riding it out. It's not fun. Your brain will be telling you you're gonna die, and it's just like trying to get you to relapse, right? That's what it does. You'll have no motivation. I remember just sitting there like a shell of myself, not even wanting to move my hand to get the TV remote. Like I didn't even want to do that. You're like a fried, battery that's been fried out or something. But it'll get better and better every day. So your sleep will start to get better and better. Hopefully, by the time you hit Sunday, you'll be able to get 2-3 hours of sleep at a segment. I would anticipate by the end of day 7, you're probably getting 5 to like 6 hours of sleep, and that's where mine kind of hovered at. I think that's just like my adult sleep rate is like 6 hours, but it didn't get too much better from there. Right around day 3, I was able to start drinking coffee again. That gave me a little bit of pep on that day. Um, but yeah, if you do that, if you like, I just from my experience, I you will get through. You will not die. There's there might be something that's lethal, but you can call an ambulance if that's the case. As long as your friend holds you accountable, doesn't let you leave. If they're your friend and they're there for you and you trust them, they will not let you leave, and they will just keep you there. You might even like fake a heart attack just to get to leave. That's how evil this addiction is. You'll I remember being like, my mom's hurt. I need to go right now. I can't do this now. Like you'll be negotiating with yourself, trying to talk yourself out of it. But that's where the friend comes in, because you've already cleared what your intention is. You've already told them what the rules are. I am not leaving. The only way I'm leaving is in an ambulance. Um, and then once you get through all this, it's just the mental game, right? The cravings will still be there. You'll still crave it. Effectively, you're gonna feel like you have no motivation. You'll just be like tired. I remember when the alarm goes off in the morning, I don't want to get out of bed. Like it's the hardest thing to get out of the bed. But doing little things like going for a little walk will really invigorate you. A lot of people say work out. That never worked for me. Um, I don't know why. I just couldn't get the strength to go work out, but maybe it will for you. Maybe it'll get some stuff pumping and make you feel better. Um, I wish I had access to a sauna in the place where I was doing the hunkering down, but I honestly believe that probably would have helped me, especially with the like cold sweats and stuff. Um, but yeah, but that's it. So like, yeah, like the end of day 3 is when the restlessness has stopped. A lot of the nose stuff has stopped. My stomach, I stopped vomiting profusely. It's right at the end of day 3. Um, and again, you're just not going to sleep great for a little bit. That's part of the game. It's it's just going to happen, and you're going to have to deal with it. But yeah, like I was able to go to work on the 4th day. So like 24 to 48 sucked, 48 to 72 sucked. But that next day I was able to get to work. So if you can like work remote for that day, you might be able to give yourself an extra buffer. But like if you can do what I just said, you will get that drug out of your system. Then you just got to work on staying sober. There's a lot of like recovery groups like AA and stuff like that you could do. For that, like for me, it was that trusted person, which was my wife. It was keeping her involved, so that control, right? Where like I don't leave the house alone. I don't leave the house with a wallet. I cannot buy anything, right? That is the control I needed to not use. Um, But yeah, like you cannot go into those shops again. It sucks, but like yeah, like staying sober is so much of the battle. There's something called the pink cloud that I think you should be aware of too. So like day 3, that day where it starts to feel okay, am so relieved to not be in agonizing pain anymore that like I almost felt like I was high, like it was a natural high. I'm just feeling great. Like I can't believe I made it through that. I'm so happy. And like it's kind of like the adrenaline, the excitement of being sober is there. For me, right around week 2, that excitement starts to go away. It's not exciting to be sober every day anymore. And yeah, that's what they call the pink cloud goes away. And now you're just left with yourself sober, right? Um, and yeah, I'm not going to give too many tips for that part. You're just resisting cravings. And that's why you have to abandon your will. Your will, we've already proven, I'm assuming most people here have relapsed many times. Um, our will is broken. It is broken fundamentally. So that's why you have to rely on the will of your trusted person. For me, it was my wife. I trusted her will. When I wanted it, I asked her, I said, babe, I think I really need it right now. I need it. I can't work. I can't. She would tell me, nope, well, you're not getting it. Sucks to suck. And eventually, kind of like integrated finances back into my life and opened up with more freedom as I kind of got control over things. But yeah, the staying sober, I'll leave that to you. But if you it worked for me. I cried. I shook in bed. I wanted to be left alone a lot because it's kind of embarrassing for my wife to see me like that. I lost a whole bunch of weight because I wasn't eating and I was puking up everything. The first time, I actually took some over the counter meds that made it way worse. So, any medicine that's an antihistamine, like Benadryl or Unisom, they actually agitate RLS, so that shaking and tweaking and all that, it makes you literally flop like a fish if you take it. It was the worst experience of my entire life. I just took everything I could trying to sleep. I took NyQuil, I took that, and all those were antihistamines, each one cranking up that restlessness an extra factor. So do not take a antihistamine. It will not help you sleep. Period. Do not do it. Um, for me personally, I cold turkeyed. I was taking like 60 milligrams a day at one point. I was taking like 200 milligrams a day at one point, and I also cold turkey taking over 1,000 milligrams a day. And to be honest with you, the withdrawal was pretty comparable. I had like the first one was just no helper meds. The second one was um, a little bit of helper meds. The third one was all the helper meds, and like the third one was the easiest off 1,000 milligrams. It was the easiest one by far. It was just like I wasn't happy, and I had cravings. Like I wanted to go use, but um, I didn't. So like all of you are saying like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. If you do what I just said, you will have 7-0 out of your system. Um, and if that person you trust and your friend could be a coworker that you're really close to, like I don't know who that is for you. Could be your best friend, could be a college roommate, could be someone. But if like this is saving your life in a lot of ways, like if they're not willing to give up that time to save your life, like someone is. For me, it could be my parent. Like my parents were there, willing to step in and help me through it. And again, no one beat my wife, but um, again, like all of that addiction will just tell you you cannot do this. It is so much pain. You're dying. You're this and that. And you're not. That's like what my understanding of opiate withdrawal is. It's like you're not dying. You just have to ride it out. That's your body saying, "Give me drugs back," and you have to say no. But yeah, if you can make it right through that third day, you'll be you're not. One distinction that's super important here is feeling pain is not the same as not feeling joy, right? The lack of happiness is not the same as feeling pain. So the reason I say that is those first 3 days, you are feeling pain, right? There's something onto you that is not good. After that, when you have the lack of motivation, It's different. You're just lacking joy, which is a totally different thing. It's like being neutral, right? You're just, instead of being negative, you're neutral. I just don't have good. Um, and when I put that in perspective, it actually made it a lot easier for me to understand. And yeah, you won't be an all-star, rocking it out at work. You won't be acing anything, but you'll be sober. Um, and and again, I know every person who's commented on my things can do that. Come up with a plan with your trusted person on how you're going to stay sober. For me, it was really simple. I just couldn't have money. If I didn't have money, I couldn't buy drugs. That was it. No money, no drugs. Um, if you do end up relapsing through the journey, the addict in us says like, "Oh, let's just give up. I'll do it again a different time." Um, I would say like if you relapse once, I would obviously continue onward. One dose won't do anything too crazy, but it'll probably reactivate some of the restlessness and the flu-like symptoms and all that. So I got to come up with a name for whatever I'm calling this method. I wanted to come up with something funny, so instead of like cold turkey, it would be like warm ham method or something. But if you want off of 7-0, this will get you there. And that's all I have. Like it 100% will. There's a non-fail method. If you do, so I've heard I've never heard someone say it happened to them, but I heard someone say that they heard someone else say that they went into seizures. That individual was also on some other substances too. Um, so I don't know if it was like related to benzos or alcohol, but if you limit the variables, it should be okay. And like you got to be careful with that clonidine medicine. It's not the thing you can just keep taking to feel better and better. It doesn't work like that. We're not drug addicts anymore. We can't do stuff like that. Um, it lowers your blood pressure, so like you don't want to pass out or anything like that. It could be a problem. So make sure you take that one as requested, or do your own research on how to take it. But it's not let me just take half the bottle and see if I can sleep. It's not that kind of thing. So there we go. I hope that helps. You'll be able to get sober with that. Um, so cool. Maybe I'll write it up in the description too to help you all. Thank you.